I know that content creation is overwhelming. Believe me, I have struggled with it. I get tons of messages weekly on how do I do this? I don't know what to put out there. I'm so inconsistent. It's just overwhelming. My clients aren't on social. All right, so take a breather. If you've been following me for a couple weeks, you know that I've been talking about why having a long-term content strategy is essential for your business and your brand and how you show up on social. But I know that it's also a very daunting task to sit down and plan it and try to figure it all out. So I'm going to share with you today a few simple steps as to how to begin to kickstart a content marketing strategy that actually converts, that brings you a return on your investment, whether that investment is time, money, energy. It will allow you to feel confident, for one, but also to feel organized and to know that you're putting content out there that people actually care about. So if you are brand new to my space, welcome. My name is Gina Tassinelli, and I am the founder and CEO of Hype Media, as well as Stylishly Branded and Style Rebel Mama. And together with my team, we help small business owners, established experts, thought leaders, coaches, and consultants to ignite your influence on social media in a way that's not overwhelming and that actually gets you seen, leads, and converts into sales. And so as my team working together, we support you as an agency, as myself, as your personal brand coach and social media strategist. So there's lots of various ways that we can support you. Like I said, over the last couple of weeks, I've been doing these trainings talking about specifically content marketing strategy and the importance. But for some, you may think it's not easy. I will tell you that it does become easier when there's a strategy involved. For many of us, the challenge is we don't know what to put out there. And so we wait last minute, right? We're scrambling. It's like 8 o'clock at night and you're thinking, oh gosh, I didn't put anything on social media. Nobody's going to see me. Let me just hurry up and post whatever. It doesn't work that way. It's not going to help you. So just don't do it. What makes content strategy easy is when you actually have a long-term strategy plan in place. Okay. So I will tell you that most of us as business owners, even as marketers, we lack in strategy. And that's where we struggle. And that's where the challenge is. So how do you get past that? There are some tactics, some hacks, some may want to say, to help ensure that you stay on track and that you continue on the straight and narrow path of staying consistent and actually having a plan of action. So here are some of the techniques. There's 5 of them that I'm going to go through right now. The first thing you want to do is you want to set your content marketing goals. Without any goals, there's like no end result, right? You don't know what you're striving for. So you want to think about that long-term vision. And even though when you're posting something, it may have short-term results, we can create a content strategy that's more long-term. So it's not always about posting, sign up for this challenge that's happening next week. This promo code is over in the next 5 days. None of that. We want to have more of a long-term vision. Sure, can we do those short-term types of pieces of content? Absolutely. But if you're constantly thinking short-term, you're going to be constantly spinning your wheels and feeling like you have to recreate content all the time. And you don't when you have a long-term vision in place. So here's some examples of how you want to think about those goals and objectives. So think about, are you looking to increase the amount of leads that you have? Are you looking to increase conversations? Are you looking to increase sales calls? Are you looking to increase engagement on your content by a certain percentage? Maybe it's call to actions. Maybe it's more click-throughs to your website. So you want to list these goals down, and you can have multiple goals because each piece of content should have an objective for one of those goals. All right. You don't just have to stick to one objective. In fact, want to have multiple objectives. And the reason why is because we want our content to take people through an experience and a customer journey. So if your objective is always to make sales from your content, then you're always going to be putting content out there that's just promotional, rather than putting content out there that gets people to raise their hands. And that would be engaging content. That would be content that gets people to become aware of you. It attracts them to you, right? So there's different types of content to put out there for various objectives. So that's the first thing you want to do, is you want to be very clear as to what those objectives are and write them down. This is going to help you with topics for your content, visuals, videos, maybe blogs, emails, all of that. Because remember, content is not just social media posts, it's all of that. It's even the words that come out of your mouth. It's your videos, it's emails, it's text messages, DMs. That's all content. The second thing you want to do is you want to perform a content audit. And you can do this on your own, or better yet, we can get on a call. I do offer a complimentary 50-minute social media marketing content audit, and I will go through your content with you and show you where you are missing some gaps. But essentially what you do is you go through, say, the last 30 days of content. You go through your posts. You can start with just your posts if you want. And then you want to identify, okay, this piece of content was hitting my audience in what part of the customer journey? Was it in the awareness stage? Was it in the consideration? Was it in the decision purchasing stage? Was it in the retention stage? What this allows you to do is to take inventory of where your content is landing. And so if you start to notice that all of your content is in the purchasing stage, then you're being way too promotional. And maybe that's why your content isn't converting. If you notice that most of your content is in the awareness stage, then maybe you are just attracting people, but you're not getting them to actually take any action. And so you need to add some consideration type of content, some retention type of content, and so forth. When you're doing this content audit, if you're doing it on your own, you also want to list the format of that content. You want to list what is the audience, the buyer persona that you were going after for that piece of content. What was the topic? And then take notes. Okay. And of course, look at your analytics. And so you can do that simply if you're doing this on Facebook, or even for Instagram, you can do it inside of Business Suite, or do it right inside of Instagram for Instagram, and so forth. The third thing that you want to do is you want to perform an audit on events that you have coming up that you've already done in the past. Okay, so this would be like workshops, any challenges, any Facebook Lives that you've done, or just live streams in general. Also, any interviews, podcasts, live Q&As, things like that. So you're going to take an audit of those, and you want to list out what month did you do them in, what was the topic, what was the theme, maybe keywords that you could pull from those events, and then what types of marketing campaigns did you do to help support those events. Number 4 is then you want to brainstorm content topics. And this is where most people really get stuck, thinking about what am I going to put out there? And so I'm going to walk you through some questions that will help you do this. And also, maybe take time to get on a call with 5 people, 5 prospects, 5 clients, and you can ask them similar questions as well, because that's going to help you get words from your ideal clients rather than using your own language. All right. So you want to find out what your audience really wants. That's really the point of content, is to share valuable content that your audience wants. When you give them what they want, they will hang out longer. They will follow you. They will become a connection. You start to build a relationship with them. So think about what types of articles and stories or websites are they currently visiting? Like, what do they like to read? What kinds of products are they buying? And a little hack to help you look into this is go onto competitor pages or influencers that are in your industry, go to their Facebook pages, and then see what types of ads they're running. And that's going to give you a really great idea as to what your ideal client is really motivated to purchase. Think about what kinds of topics in your industry are not being covered online, but they're being covered online, but they're just not adequately being covered online, that you can jump in and really shine as the expert within those topics. Here's another one. When you're going on a website or a Facebook business page of a competitor or somebody within your industry, not necessarily a competitor, but maybe it's a matching service or influencer or expert that could support your audience but isn't a direct competitor of yours. Look to see what kind of content they're covering and look at those pieces of content and check out the engagement. Do they get a lot of reactions? Do they get a lot of comments? Do they get a lot of shares? And when you find content that is highly engaged on, use that for inspiration and to recreate. Of course, you do not want to copy and paste. Never do that unless you're going to source them and, give them props, right? And then think about what is maybe some additional content that you would like to see more of on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all those places that you're not actually seeing and that you can fill in those gaps with. So just some ideas. Another way to come up with content, you may have heard me talk about this before because I share this little often, is think about those frequently asked questions that you get from leads, prospects, even current clients, past clients, and then answer those questions, and those can be topics for content for you. Okay, number 5, this is actually my favorite part about this, is if you have a team, even if it's just you and one other person, hold a weekly meeting to brainstorm together content ideas. Sometimes it's easier to get that outside perspective when you have that support, right? Because we are so in our business that it's hard for us to see it from an outsider's view. And so if we can get guidance from somebody else, so if you have a team, even a small team, doing these weekly meetings is really helpful, and you all can be on track. You can keep your brand message cohesive and so forth. All right. So I hope that was helpful. Take the opportunity to do a complimentary mini social media marketing audit with me. So just drop the word #audit and then you can schedule that. I'll send you a message on how to schedule that. And that's going to allow you to really just see where you have some gaps and how you can fill those gaps. So I will see you guys next week, same time. Until then, stay stylishly branded and social. Okay? Bye, guys.